Alright, people, welcome back to the channel. Rivals until death. We have a gunner stock today. We have my bedroom, Jason. Jason, how do it, man?
Boy, me there, and a teacher. Me there, man. Excited times,
Excited times, man. Excited times!
trouble, me I tell you. Trouble.
Yeah, let's talk about the signage so far. What do you think about the signage we've made so far in the league?
So, for this summer transfer window, I think it's pretty decent so far. I have no big issue with any of the signings thus far. I do believe that the um, Madueke signing is a little expensive. However, as a 23-year-old with potential of playing both left and right, he has pace, he can carry the ball, and most importantly, because people forget the most essential part of it. You are, as a young player, if you're willing to learn, if you come to the greatest club in the world, then automatically you will be great. So if you have just a little bit of potential and you come to Arsenal, playing in a great team, with very good players coming in as well to add to that. I can't complain about it because he can only get better playing with this bunch of players. So the price tag is a little bit expensive, especially when we're looking to sign probably a Eze or a Rodrigo. But no big concern over it because you're coming into a great team. So I'm not one of those fans who is going to really say too much about that. I know he can definitely excel and kick on, especially coming to the Emirates. And then when we talk about Kepa, £5 million or whatever it is, to sign a backup goalkeeper with Premier League experience, I think he was very decent. Even in his earlier times in the Premier League, no complaints about that. Especially as I said, coming into a good team automatically, your levels will increase
Yeah.
just by doing that. Because I've seen average players coming into good teams and they look decent. So no concern about that. Um,
Yeah, with
when
me
we look,
with the
well,
Madueke
even
signing, with me with the Madueke signage, to me it don't make no sense, you know. Reason being, he's not better than Saka. He's not better than Gabriel Martinelli. He's not better than Leandro Trossard. He's not better than Ethan one year. I don't understand why is he choosing to go to Arsenal. And it's not like Chelsea. Chelsea's manager came out and said that they're not the one that put him on sale. He's the one who come out and be like, oh, I want to sign for Arsenal. But for me, it's a bad decision for the club
and
and a bad decision for him overall.
no. So you see, so for example, you have a job, right? And you're working in a workplace, and you see you work as a coordinator, for example, and you see your company hiring 15 more coordinators, right? When
Yeah.
you look around, you see 15 more of you, and there is not enough jobs for all of you. And then you look across the road that potentially might want a coordinator, and that company is a better company. What would you do?
Yeah,
So
me get all
he
that decision that you want, a different change, you know.
he
Yes,
sees
but
so hold on. So he sees Arsenal as a better employer. So he wants to go, he wants to get an upgrade. All right. So he gets an upgrade. So that benefits him. So you might say he's not better than Saka, he's not better than Martinelli, he's not better than Leandro Trossard, etc. But what he has is the ambition to want to go to a big club who is doing very well, have a very good squad. So I'm not saying Chelsea is not a big club, by no means. But what I'm saying is that he wants to go to a better employer
alright.
at the
This is the
moment, at
thing.
least.
This is
So
the
so
thing with
hold
me
on.
with the
So
situation.
and what he will add to Arsenal is that on the right hand side, where last year we had Ethan one year coming in for Saka.
Yeah.
Right now, if you are making a substitution and you take out Saka and you inject Madueke, Madueke's pace directness in terms of dribbling and playing with great players, there's output there. And I want all these fans who have a different opinion, because of course we can have our opinion. Just watch the output when he gets a chance in the team with a team that is so good. You'll see the difference. So the price tag is the only thing for me, and I understand that some fans are upset because they're saying, okay, we need to get the striker first, or we need to do this business first. This whole thing is a cat and mouse thing. You want to get the businesses that you can get done quickly, as quickly as possible, and those that you believe that you're able to negotiate. So, for example, the Gyokeres thing, they know that the player is fully committed and only wants Arsenal, and is willing to even cancel his contract, terminate his own contract, do whatever it takes to come to the club. You think they're going to, even if it's 5 extra million, you think that they're going to pay that? No, they're going to wait and let things happen, because the longer it goes on, it doesn't benefit anyone. And even though they want the player right away to get the player in pre-season in Spain, all that kind of stuff, it's a game. And what fans don't understand, fans, well, we contribute to the club by watching these games, buying jerseys, going to the club. Yes, you spend your money to be. But look here, all of this money the club is spending is not my money.
Yeah,
Until the player comes, and the player is totally rubbish, then that's when I'll have an opinion. As long as you step into that club and you're representing that club, I'm going to give you a chance. Same thing when Average just came in. I wasn't for it. But
yeah.
guess what?
This is the thing with me with the Madueke situation. You have to remember we are in a era now where one more year is the World Cup, right? He wants to be in that World Cup squad. Why would you go to a club where you know your position for being the backup of a Bukayo Saka? Bukayo Saka hardly get injured. You're not better than Gabriel Martinelli. You're not better than Leo Joshua. And arguably, you're not better than Ethan Waneri. That's why I said, for me, it's a bad decision for him and a bad decision for the club. Because it's not like he could outplay one of these guys. In Chelsea team, he was the Chelsea's best winger last season, the season before. He scored the most goal. And this is coming from a guy who doesn't rate Madueke at all. I don't like how he plays. I don't like how he looks. I don't like how he carry on with himself. I don't like nothing about this guy. He wasn't one of my best player I could say on the Chelsea team. What I'll go for. That's why I said for me, it's a bad decision for him. He should have just stayed with Chelsea and get more game time to play games for them. That's how I see it. I don't even feel like the way how he acts is gonna work with Mikel Arteta. I feel like he's a bad apple.
But you see, the thing is now, I am not going to, you know, jump ship. I will continue to say Sesko was my number one choice based on the age profile, the height, the ball striking, um, the ability to link up, get the wingers into the game, just the overall fitting in with the Arsenal way currently. However, with Victor Gyokeres, I have no doubt that he's going to do very well in our team. As a matter of fact, if he plays like how he played the game when we played them, when we gave them the 5-1, he's going to score a lot of goals in the Premier League. Because the Premier League is so physical in a sense where that suits his game. He
Yeah,
kind of loves when players come and try to be physical with him, because that
he likes
really
a battle.
get him going. Yes, that gets him going. So it's going to be an interesting summer
Yeah,
start. And I think he's going to do really well. If you see the amount of time we got, like crosses in the box, 6 yard box, and there's no one there to popping those goals. Just having anyone at all who can. When you look at the amount of chances we create, the amount of goals Havertz have scored, Mourinho have scored as who are not strikers. Just imagine you just have someone who is really bullish and wanting to score, and just his demeanor in wanting to join the club and wanting to do well. That's the mindset that will make the difference. And I do believe if we get well, starting off this season, a lot of teams are going to be scared. So you see all those teams that we gave like even 5-1 and we defeated them 5 love or 4 something. Those are going to turn into 7 and 8 if
Yeah.
teams are not careful. Because those goals that we scored and the ones that we missed, it's not going to be the same with this guy. I'm sure of that.
Yeah,
So
one of the main reasons why I always was sticking out for Victor Gyokeres is because he's a killer. I want a striker to be staying up front just to score goals. That's what we was missing. I don't want my striker to be coming in the midfield, coming in the defense, helping out. No, you're a striker. You're there to score goals. Your job is for you to score goals. Stay up front and score goals. That's what we've been missing. A lot of games I've been watching, I've seen Gabriel Martinelli, Bukayo Saka on the wing, crossing over the ball to the striker. There's nobody there to get the ball. A lot of chances last season I've seen Kai Havertz miss. I know for a fact Victor Gyokeres is not gonna miss these chances. We've seen Mikel Marino play striker role for what? Almost 2-3 months straight. And look how much goals he scored. What are we expecting from Victor Gyokeres? He's gonna eat. He's gonna score a lot of goals with these chances that we create in the
So
games.
so 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 prediction then. How many goals do you think he'll finish with this season?
What in the league or overall? Cause we just
Just
striker
in
overall.
just in the league.
Just in the league, I'm expecting at least 20 plus. At least 20 plus goals. If you're gonna ask me for overall goals, 30 plus in all competitions.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I
That's
do
that's
believe.
how highly I rate this guy. For me, the only striker in the world I've seen is better than him is Isaac. That's the only striker. Isaac doesn't have more goals than him if we're talking about just goals. The reason why I put Isaac above him is that Isaac have a lot of stuff in his game than just scoring goals.
Okay. Well, fair enough. I can't dispute that. Because I do believe you're gonna have games where he's gonna score even 4 in one game. I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the type of player he is for sure. So there's
One of the main factor is that teams playing Arsenal now are gonna think about double up or triple up on Osaka now because they have a guy up front who's a killer. They're gonna have to be watching him too. Plus, be watching Martinelli or
well,
Trossard.
well. So you see, the thing is now that's the whole objective of why I believe that any type of striker who is out and out number 9, anybody at all, is an
Yeah,
out and out who is going to occupy defenders. Because now, and this is why Eze, and I know I'm jumping the ship. This is why I believe Eze is so important for us to get someone of that profile who is a ball carrier, who is a dribbler. Because now teams used to double up on Martinelli, Saka. So you double up on those 2 wingers. Then now you have a striker who I do not believe there is any team in the Premier League that has a defender that is able to really bully Gyökeres. And as of such, one defender is not good enough to take
yeah.
him on. So they're gonna have to be very close together to cover.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have, so that's 2, 4, that's 6 players already versus 3. So 3 attackers and it takes 6 players already to be able to contain them in any way. Now
I
there,
wouldn't say there isn't any because you still have to put in mind that Virgil van Dijk and Konate is still in the league. I'm not saying that they can't bull him, but I'm saying they're countable good defenders too.
okay. So you see, I'm not talking about how good a defender is. I'm talking about bullying him, and I'm sure Van Dijk nor Konate is not more bullish than Gabriel. And I've seen Victor Gyökeres put Gabriel to the test where he's really on it, being real
Yeah, I get
bullish.
that.
So
Yeah, I get that.
Van Dijk people believe that this Van Dijk is world class in terms of defending.
Yeah,
His game is not about being aggressive and being bullish. So I know that physical battle, he's not going to win that physical battle with Gyokeres. I'm sure of that. Neither can Ate.
yeah,
I'm sure of that. So that's the physical aspect I'm talking about. So playing against them, I can't wait to see this.
yeah.
Honest.
Let's move on to Kepa. What are your thoughts on Kepa?
Well, Kepa, very decent signing. Very decent signing. We're playing a few FA Cup, Community Shield, whatever it is. Um, decent, decent,
Yeah.
decent. I remember the day of Chelsea when he had that crazy moment when he was supposed to be subbed off, but and he didn't came off, or did he?
With sorry.
Or yeah. So I mean that's in the back of my head. But as I said, when you go to a place where you see the standards, where you see you see the fact that these players know what they're going into and they're willing and excited to join, it says everything.
Yeah,
Because players react to you based on how the environment is and how much they respect you. So you could tell that coach, he didn't respect that coach, he didn't respect the environment, um, and hence that reaction. Coming into a club like this with a great culture at the moment, with great bunch of players, that winning mentality, that you know cohesiveness that's taking place in the team right now. Because in a long time, this is a very good Arsenal squad. I've seen in a very
yeah,
long time, where I'm not looking at a bunch of players where I'm saying, oh, weak fence, weak fence, weak fence. When I'm
yeah.
looking at a solid team. I remember the days of when I'm looking at Socrates and David Luiz, and I'm looking at um you know, short guy. You used to rate him highly in the midfield. Terrier or whatever his name is. You know, I'm looking at a
So
bunch
yeah,
of yeah, a bunch of weak fence and thing. Now I'm looking at a quality squad. So, decent signing, 5 million quid. No problem with that at all.
yeah, yeah. From me, I see it as a big plus. One, he was one of the better keepers in the league. And I've seen Chelsea fan coming out about, oh, we sell your player that we didn't want. No, he's your best keeper. He's better than all the keeper that you have. This season, or last season ago, I remember Chelsea fans, all of them was complaining about the keeper that they have, that's Sanchez. All of them saying they need a new keeper, they need a new keeper. This guy outperformed Sanchez for Bournemouth. And he's coming into Arsenal team where he's gonna be a backup. He's not like he's gonna be the first choice signing a goalkeeper for us. He's going to be a backup. He's going to play the games of like Carabao Cup game. I don't even think he's going to play FA Cup games. I feel like he's just going to come there and play the Carabao Cup games, play one or two FA Cup games if Raya is injured. So for me, and the signing, the fee, we're signing for 5 million. That's a big bargain. Big bargain
Agree,
for me.
agree, agree. Yeah,
Who else we
no,
signed?
no, definitely, because definitely David Sanchez is no good, and Kepa is better than David Sanchez for sure. So,
Yeah.
you know, no joke.
What are your thoughts on Zubamendi?
Class. Probably one of the best number six in the world. Not the best, but probably in the top five for sure. As a as
Yeah.
a as a as a six, in terms of controlling the game, dictating the tempo, you know, passing through the lines, decent and secure on the ball. It's a so for me, Zubamendi is a Jorginho 2.0. So it's an upgrade on Jorginho in terms of the style, the play, just a little bit better in my eyes. So no complaints at all.
Yeah, that's what I was saying the other day. He's a younger version of Georgina. And that's why I like the signing so far. And I like the fact that Real Madrid was after him. I like the fact that a lot of team was after him, and Arsenal is the team that he chose. That showed me that the guy literally just want to play for Arsenal. The players like that are players who I've seen does stuff like that. Makes me want to rate them even more. And I've always had a little eye on him when he was playing for Real Sociedad. And I was like, This guy is not that bad, you know. And I feel like him coming into a better squad than the Real Sociedad squad is gonna perform for Arsenal.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And I feel like the price that he went for it, the price that I'm seeing the Arsenal buying these players for, I'm like, we're getting these guys for cheap price, you know.
Yeah, no, it's decent business, good profiles to match what we're looking for,
Yeah,
and it provides options,
yeah,
So that's why even with the no guard thing, no complaints. 31-year-old Premier League proven captain, so he has some form of leadership quality. Um, Coming in, if we need to play in a FA Cup game, we need a number six. He can go in there, So having depth, so we don't overplay these players, and with that as well, we can get some time for certain players, because who to tell how Zubamendi is going to fit in and acclimatize to the Premier League. So some games we might need a little more steel in the central defensive area. Oh, no guard is Premier League proven. I have no problem seeing him starting in certain games, even over Zubamendi. So no complaints at all with those signings.
yeah. And he's a steady Eddie, bro. He's a steady Eddie. Doesn't cost us a lot of money. He only cost us 10 million. And for a player of that caliber, I feel like that's another steal again. That's why I'm like, I don't get why fans are coming out saying that, oh, they don't like how the transfer window is going so far. But for me, the way I've seen this transfer window for Arsenal is one of the best transfer window I've seen from the past 10 years for me.
Yeah,
Who else we've
I
signed?
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, and now I'm seeing we're very linked to Ebert Eze. I'm seeing we're linked to him and we're linked to Rodrigo. Which player would you take if we could only choose one?
Oh, definitely we have to go with Eze for sure. Rodrigo would be exciting. It would
Yeah,
it would sell more jerseys maybe, in terms of profile and name. However, in terms of effectiveness in the positions that I think that we need extra, gotta go with Eze. Especially Premier League proven. He can play in the pockets inside, while Rodrigo is more of like a wide player.
yeah,
I do not believe, and I know this might sound crazy, I do not believe Rodrigo is such an upgrade on Martinelli why we should go and spend so much money on him. Yes, he's way better. I think he's way better. But I do not believe that upgrade is so significant where it's going to help us that
yeah,
much over an Eze. While Eze, he can play out on the left and he can play as a 10 in those pockets where I think we need in certain games when so before we used to play in transition and we used to catch team out and we play some quick passes and we go boom score 23-24 season when Martinelli and Saka was killing it out wide, taking on players, and fans have a short memory. They had
yeah.
that
I
wonderful
share the
season.
same point of view as you.
Yeah, they had that great season. Now teams start to doubling up on those players and teams start to play a low block and then try to catch us on the break. Now, in those games, I believe we can play only 1-6 and no 8 and play 2-10. So we have a Eze and we have a Odegaard. If you have a Eze who is going to take on people in those tight pockets, dribble, take off a shot, play a ball through, stuff like that. Now teams playing that low block, we have a better chance on breaking down those low blocks. And I
Yeah,
trust I trust the back three that we have when we're attacking. Because usually you have a Lewis Kelly or if Timber is playing on the right or whatever it is. Usually that one of those players come inside to have extra coverage. So you have basically 2-6 there and only three at the back. So if we're playing like that tactically and we have 2 10s, we can break down teams better. While if it's a Rodrigo, he wants the space to run in, he needs space while Eze is more in those tight pockets, can string a pass better, will get off a shot, stuff like that. So definitely I would go with Eze.
And one of the main key factors with me wanting Eze too is that he's Premier League proven and he plays a lot of different positions. I'm not saying that Rodrigo doesn't play a lot of different positions. It's just the fact that Eze plays the position where we need backup for. I'm not saying we don't need backup for Martinelli position, yeah, but Eze plays that position where we really need a backup for. Because we don't have a backup for Martin Odegaard. And Eze would be a very good backup to be playing there, or even a challenger. Because I don't feel like he's coming into the squad to be a backup. I feel like he would come into the squad to be a challenger for Martin Odegaard.
Yeah, no, and definitely in some games, as I said before, some games we can play two tens, and
Yeah,
some games will better suit Eze over Odegaard. I do believe those games where there is a low block, Odegaard can really control um you know the at the end of the pitch there,
yeah.
where some flicks and some bars that he lobs over. I just believe with all those attributes and the pressing and all that kind of stuff, it's gonna be an exciting season.
Yeah, and in few games, so I feel like the two players could interchange. Like Eze could play number 10 today, and Odegaard could play the eight. Switch and change, bro. That's how I see it. That's why I'm like, I'd rather have Eze than Rodrigo if I could buy one of these players.
Yeah, no, for sure. And Eze is at a cheaper price.
Yeah,
Um, Salary probably even less. So it's a no brainer.
and then the story behind him too, getting released from Arsenal, and he's an Arsenal fan. I like stuff like that. I
Yeah,
like
no.
seeing stuff like that.
Yeah, and he's going to want to come and prove a point and
Yeah,
playing the Champions League, playing at the highest level, World Cup year, everyone has something to prove. So, yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna make for a good challenge in the squad.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on the outgoings though? Because I haven't seen much on the outgoings. Which player you feel like they should be targeting to be leaving the club?
Well, it's so it's very simple, a player like Sambi Lokanga, Reese Nelson, um, you know, probably um I would keep Trossard another year because we have a lot of games to play. So, Martinelli, Trossard, then you have Eze, Odegaard in that 10. Eze can go out left. Those are typically, and then I would probably, no, I would probably still keep Kivior, because we need to have the squad depth. If we're gonna
Yeah,
go all the way, So those two players are really just the only two players that I would really push to get rid of. And then if there's anyone who is really unhappy and do not want to be at the club, but those are the two players only who I would definitely say, okay, we need to get rid of those two players.
what
Because
about
reasons.
Jivchenko? You want Jivchenko to stay? You like Jivchenko?
I mean, he wouldn't have a role to play in the team really. So, yeah, he can definitely go for sure. Yeah, I
Yeah, he
didn't
could
even.
go. Remember, we have Mazo Skelly playing that position. We have Calafiori playing that position. We don't need Jivchenko in the squad, man. He's just
Yeah,
holding up space.
yeah. Zini time is up for sure. I didn't even remember.
And
Yeah, no
if for
problem with
some
that.
reason Gabriel Jesus could have came out of his injury, I would want him to go too.
And the truth is, I don't even mind having Gabby in the squad, to be honest. I
Mm.
I don't mind because you have a Gyokeres, you have um
Havertz,
Jesus, and then you have Havertz. I have no problem with that, with having
yeah.
those options, because we need to have options, because that's one of the things. There are certain games we need to have different profiles. We need to be able to, in the 65th minute, we need to be able to take off some players and don't run them in the ground. So I don't mind having those options.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but the reason why I say I would want to sell him is because the wages that he's on, the how
No,
long he's been here, and
no,
he's always been injured.
that is not my money. I don't care. As long as when he come onto the field, He contributes on the field. I don't care how much he wants to get. They are the ones who gave him that money, and that is as long as it doesn't affect any incomings. When he
That's the
goes,
thing. I was just
when
gonna say that.
when he goes on the pitch, if he can produce moments for me to celebrate and we win games consistently, I don't care if they want to give him 500 million a week. I don't care.
And
So
so they, so what? You don't see no other players out there that would you take in the squad that you like?
if you get rid of Jesus, that's not going to automatically give you an option to bring in any player in the squad. In terms of players out there to add to the squad, well, not really, not really,
Hmm.
not
For me,
really.
if we get the Eze, either Eze or Rodrigo, we got the Eze. I would go for Anthony Gordon because I know it would cost less money than Rodrigo.
No, what I mean, Eze alongside Gordon?
Yeah,
Nah.
because Newcastle just signed Anthony Alanga. That means they have a lot of wingers over there. One of the wingers is gonna have to be leaving. So I would go over to Newcastle and be like, "Yo, what's the price on Anthony Gordon?"
Speaking of which, you know who I would take?
Hmm.
I'm not so convinced by all these wingers, because I do believe Martinelli can do the job. So all those, Anthony Gordon and what who I would take is, and he probably wouldn't fit in this squad because where would he play? Because we always got
Don't say it. Don't say what I think you're gonna say.
Bruno, and I
Bruno.
believe
Who?
Guimaraes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll take Bruno Guimaraes. I thought you was gonna bring up this Jack Grealish shit again.
No, 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 no. No, that was a joke, man. That was a
Oh,
joke. No, no,
okay.
no, no. That was a joke. Jack finished, man. Jack have to go back to probably he should go to this Sunderland team. Um, that
I
just
feel
gave
like
him.
he needs a ear out of football. I feel like he needs rehab, bro. The stuff that he's carrying on with, I feel like he needs an ear out of football.
No, no, no. He needs to be playing the sport that he loves. If he goes in and he's playing in one of those teams where they give him the freedom like he had at Aston Villa to just take on people. Pep mash him up, Pep, Pep, Pep destroyed him. That's
Yeah.
exactly what happened. I do not care what anyone wants to say. The system is not for everyone. When you
It,
look at Jack, Jack was just naturally someone you just dribble. Just get the ball, dribble. Just run at people, take them on, get a lot
yeah,
of
that's
ticks.
the thing with Pep Guardiola. He will build a player and it can kill a player.
Yeah, I mean that is with every coach. Every coach. There's no coach out there or manager who has gotten it 100% right. Because he believed that, oh, I got Jack Grealish, his technical abilities, his ability on the ball, I can get him to play better. But the moment I saw that, I figured it was a bad move. But
Yeah.
not living on Jack. Summarizing the whole transfer window thus far for Arsenal, I think it's going well if we can get um, this Gyokeres fully finalized, even though we're very much sure that he's gonna be an Arsenal player, and if we can get Eze alongside that, and we get rid of Reece Nelson, and we get rid of Zinchenko and Sambi Lokanga. I think that's a great start for the transfer window, and I can't
But you
wait for
feel
this
like
season.
those players that you mentioned, we're gonna be able to get a lot of return money from these guys like
No, no,
Asambi
no. Look,
Lakanga.
look here. Look here. I don't care if a 5 million could we get for all of them in one. Get them out of the club. They go. Because you see, the thing is, this is one of the things with fans. We're talking about recuperating funds and blah blah. These players that I'm making mention of, none of them worth anything. So I'm not going to live a fictitious life to say, okay, we're gonna get any money for them. We're not going to get a lot of money for these players. What when we have price asset to sell, because that has been the case with Arsenal. We have some players we sell them for 30 million. You know, Arsenal is never known for selling for a hefty price because now we want to keep our top talents. We do
Yeah.
not have any top talent that we're going to sell and get good money for. So I don't care about the outgoings and selling price. I As long as we have the money to bring in these players and no problem with sustainability in terms of finances, then I'm all good. They could go even for free. I
The
want the
reason why
season.
I asked that, is because you just mentioned Bruno Guimaraes, and you need to recoup money to purchase a player like that. That's why I asked if the money you feel like could be enough what we're gonna get from these guys if we
But
sell them.
the thing is, Bruno would be an unrealistic signing because Newcastle is not going to let Bruno Guimaraes
Yeah.
leave.
And I
I,
like the player too. I like the player just as you. I like the style of play. I like how he carry on. He's a winner. I like winners.
yeah, 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 definitely,
Yeah, I like
definitely.
winners, and I like my midfielders to be fighters. Bruno is
Yeah,
that type of player.
yeah, he's a dog in the middle of the park there.
Yeah. So what do you think is gonna have to be the outcome for the season coming forward? Are you excited for the season?
Yo, bro, we're definitely going to win this league this year.
Yeah,
I'm very confident in this, and I want this to be replayed over and over. We're definitely going to win this league. If we get these signings that we're talking about completed, we're definitely going to win this league, and we're going to be a big problem for these teams.
yeah. I feel like this season coming is gonna be one of the best season Premier League era. Because a lot of teams are strengthening, and a lot of these big name teams are literally coming back slowly. So I feel like this Premier League season should be exciting to be watching.
Yeah, man, no, for sure.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
think
fam. Yeah,
we,
man, it's always good connecting,
yeah,
because,
man.
Gunners talk and hope
Yeah,
to be
I feel
back
like we
soon.
covered everything we're supposed to cover. No,
Yeah,
are
man.
there anything you want to talk about?
That's it from me.
Yeah, yeah, guys. Thanks again, Jason. Yeah, guys, like and subscribe and share and follow my boy Jason too on
All right.
Facebook. Jason, tell him your name on Facebook.
All right. So Facebook, Jason, J Smith, or Instagram, Jason underscore JS9. Content, football, coaching. The whole works, fitness. Cause remember, before me even go, you see someone where they are talk about football and I go deadlift this football early. Cause you need to go at gym and take care of yourself. So take it from me.
Ah, brother.